Tesla forecasted capital expenditures of $6 to $8 billion in 2022, up from $5 to $7 billion in April. Tesla is currently establishing 2 new factories in Texas and Germany. Welcome to Tech Heaven, and in this video we'll take a look at whether Tesla will boost spending for the Giga Texas and Berlin ramp. Curious to know? Let's find out. Tesla announced a $1 billion increase in spending on Monday to ramp up its factories, develop new batteries, and fund other projects. Tesla said in a securities filing that it expected capital expenditures to be $6 to $8 billion in 2022, up from $5 to $6 billion forecast in April. One of several new disclosures in Tesla's quarterly report filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission was the increase in spending. The automaker also stated that it was being investigated more closely by the commission and that it had lost $170 million on its Bitcoin investment. Mr. Musk recently complained about startup issues at new factories near Berlin and Austin, Texas, describing them as money furnaces that drained resources while producing insufficient cars. Tesla's profit and deliveries fell in the second quarter compared to the first 3 months of the year, an unusual setback for a company that dominates the fast-growing electric car market, according to Mr. Musk. The increase in capital spending suggests that establishing new factories in Germany and Texas has proven to be more expensive than anticipated. Tesla also disclosed in its quarterly report that it had received a subpoena from the Securities and Exchange Commission seeking information about the company's compliance with a 2018 agreement to settle allegations of securities fraud. The subpoena is the latest twist in Mr. Musk's long-running feud with SEC. He was accused of deceiving investors in 2018 when he stated on Twitter that he had financing in place to buy the company back from shareholders. The transaction never happened. To settle the allegations of securities fraud, Mr. Musk agreed to have a company lawyer run certain social media posts. Mr. Musk's attempt to get out of the agreement was rejected by a federal judge in New York in April. Mr. Musk's obsession with cryptocurrencies had also cost Tesla money, according to the filing. In addition to its $170 million loss, the automaker reported a $64 million profit from the sale of Bitcoin, the value of which has fluctuated dramatically. Tesla announced last week that it had lost money after selling the majority of its Bitcoin holdings. Last week, Mr. Musk stated that he still believed in cryptocurrencies and that his decision to sell some should not be interpreted as a verdict on Bitcoin. He stated that Tesla desired the money. Mr. Musk was defending his personal behavior on Twitter at the time the filing was made public. According to the Wall Street Journal, the CEO had an affair with the wife of a Google co-founder, Sergey Brin, which ruined the two men's friendship. Mr. Musk stated that the article was incorrect and that there just isn't much time for shenanigans. By the way, if you're watching us for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can enjoy our future videos while getting updated. Getting back to the topic, Tesla has increased production at Gigafactory, Texas to thousands of units per week, adding the Model Y long range to the standard range version. The automaker is keeping information about its production ramp at Gigafactory, Texas under wraps. It is one of Tesla's most important projects, as the company invested billions of dollars in the massive factory, which will not be repaid until the plant reaches volume production. Tesla began deliveries of Texas-built Model Y vehicles in April after gradually ramping up production of the Model Y late in 2021. The ramp-up has been challenging because Tesla has been producing Model Ys at Gigafactory, Texas using its new 4680 battery cells and structural battery pack, which have been the bottleneck. Tesla's factory is expected to produce 10,000 vehicles per week by the end of the year. The current Gigafactory Texas production rate is unknown, but it is thought to be less than 1,000 Model Y vehicles per week. For the first time, Electrac has obtained inside information that gives us a better idea of Tesla's production rate at the new factory. According to sources familiar with the situation, Tesla has been able to ramp up production since the addition of a new version of the Model Y, the Model Y Long Range, and it now produces several thousand vehicles per week. According to one source, Tesla is making up to 5,000 vehicles available for delivery per week from Gigafactory, Texas, but it's unclear whether this is a sustainable rate. According to another source, Tesla can now produce at least 2,000 Model Ys per week at the plant thanks to the addition of the Model Y Long Range. However, some Model Y long-range buyers taking delivery from Gigafactory, Texas are being told by Tesla advisors that the vehicle is equipped with 2170 cells rather than the new cell format. Recent drone flyovers of the factory reveal that Tesla produces hundreds of cars per day. On Monday, June the 27th, this flyover by Joe Tegmeyer shows Tesla preparing more than 300 Model Ys for delivery in the parking lot. For Gigafactory Texas, anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 units of production capacity per week would be incredible just a few months after production began. However, it is dependent on how long that production capacity will be sustainable in the coming weeks and months. Also, it's a little disappointing that Tesla is only achieving those levels by using 2170 cells in the Model Y long range, rather than the new 4680 cell, which is clearly going to be the new standard moving forward. Tesla needs to figure out how to ramp up production of the new cell modules. Before Tesla fans get too excited, it's worth noting that the problems in Berlin and Austin don't have to be as dramatic as Musk's colorful description suggests. Adding a new plant will always have an impact on margins due to a mismatch between the rate at which early revenue comes in and large upfront investments that are written off as fixed costs over time. The industry standard is that a manufacturing plant will be profitable if it uses about 80% of its installed production capacity on a two-shift basis. Only when that figure falls below 60% does a plant typically lose money. When a factory first begins production, there is almost always a laundry list of teething problems that must be worked out. To name a few challenges, the supply chain must be flawless, machines must be calibrated to the micrometer to ensure exterior body panels fit together seamlessly without gaps, and workstations must meet time targets in order not to stall the assembly line. If these issues are not addressed from the beginning, mistakes accumulate and eventually cost the manufacturer much more to correct later on, when thousands rather than hundreds of cars are built per day. So, while capacity utilization in Berlin and Austin is both minuscule, Musk has previously stated that it will take about a year to bring them up to a scale where they can operate most efficiently. In fact, rival Volkswagen is attempting to match Giga Berlin's expected productivity, which is to produce a Model Y crossover every 10 hours. Because of new production techniques, such as front and rear body full castings, this is twice as fast as most factories. Furthermore, Tesla excels in part due to its extremely low level of manufacturing complexity. Almost all of its volume comes from the Model 3 and Model Y, which have few trim options such as paint color, rims, and interior. However, even after nearly 3 months of operation, Berlin only recently passed the 1,000 vehicle per week mark earlier this month, representing about 10% of its 500,000 installed capacity. There is a lot of expense and very little output, Musk said. What Musk said next was crucial. This is all going to get fixed real quick, but it requires a lot of attention. His team expects to keep ramping up in Shanghai, Berlin, and Austin in order to achieve a 50% increase in sales volume this year. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. What are your views about Tesla's Gigafactories? Let us know in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.